Welcome to the week that we talk about putting everything together. You guys have been doing an amazing job hitting your macros, sticking to your fast, incorporating exercise that's effective, but also focusing on these non-scale victories. This week we are going to talk about putting everything together. We will talk about the Fast Away mindset, how to change your carb cycle as needed, and also the best way to attack a 24-hour fast. We're also going to just review the carb cycle as it's fairly new for everyone, just to go over that quickly. And then we also want to make sure that we are focusing on non-scale victories and what that actually means. So let's get started with the Fast Away mindset. Like I said, you have been doing an excellent job hitting your macros, getting your fast in, learning what foods really work well for you. But what I want you to remember is that we are focusing on progress and not perfection. You do not have to be perfect on this lifestyle to see results. I also don't want you to be discouraged when you get to a certain point in our time together and you hop on a scale, because if you are following the program and you are doing a dairy-free, gluten-free lifestyle, you're sticking to whole foods, you are going to see results. The challenge is everyone is a little bit different as to when they start to see results. So we have to be a little patient with ourselves and try to make sure that we are not getting discouraged if you get on a scale. And here's why. Muscle weighs more than fat does. Significantly more than fat does. So if you are getting on a scale and you are building lean muscle, you may be burning fat at the same rate that you're building muscle, or even a little bit faster, but your scale may not change right away. Okay? So I don't want you to get discouraged and focus on that scale, that number. So we really want you to focus on your progress pictures and your measurements. Hopefully you have those documented or you sent them to me, and we can continue to track your progress as you go through our time together. Now, the Fast Away mindset has one big focus, and that is to focus on progress and not perfection. Remember, I just said you do not have to be perfect on this plan, this lifestyle, to see results, and we want you to celebrate these small victories as you go. Everyone's victories are going to be a little bit different. Maybe you hit your macros every day this week. Maybe you got in all your workouts. But maybe you're starting to see changes in your clothes, and everyone is going to have those changes at different points. So make sure that you are paying attention to your body. You are really tracking your progress, because we don't want a negative mindset. Does not help anyone in this type of program or in any wellness program. But ultimately, we want you to be successful, and we want you to see the results that you want. And I am here to help you get to those results. Let's talk a little bit about the Fast Away cycle. Remember that this incorporates intermittent fasting, carb cycling, macro tracking, and sticking to whole foods. We want you to try to be dairy and gluten-free. Most people do not have a true allergy to these, but you do have sensitivities to them, and it makes it difficult to lose and burn fat when you have those types of sensitivities. Therefore, dairy and gluten-free is going to be important as we get into this fat burning time. Remember that Monday and Tuesday for both men and women are low carb days, and they are HIIT workout days. So those are the days that we are doing high intensity interval training, things that get your heart rate up quickly and then down and up and down over and over, so that you're seeing that cardio type benefit, but we're also, I'm sure you've seen it in these workouts, we're also incorporating some weights in there. It is a very good workout. Those are your fat burning days. For men, and breastfeeding women, I want you to stick to 100 grams of net carbs or less on those days. Net carbs, again, are total carbs minus fiber. Now, women, 50 grams of net carbs or less. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for men and women are strength training days. Those are regular macro days where we are hitting your macro targets as best as you can. You should have that perfect split of that pie chart should look perfect that day. Your pie chart, your percentages on low carb days are not going to look that way. Remember those low carb days, we want to hit your protein goal. We want you to be about 1.5 to 2 times your fat goal on a regular macro day. So if your fat goal is 50 grams, we want you to 75 to 100 grams. Those fats do not get incorporated into your body, but they get used for fuel when you are in a low carb day. So very important to get those fit fats in. And then your carbs, again, like we just said, 50 net carbs or 100 net carbs, depending on male, female, and breastfeeding. Now, those regular macro days, again, we want to hit those target goals. We want you getting in those carbs, getting in the healthy carbs that we all love. And then remember that Saturday is a leg day. It is a treat day. Ideally, your treat would be dairy and gluten-free. However, I understand that sometimes that's not possible. You've saved certain things for those days. But the rest of your week should really try to be dairy and gluten-free. Friday and Sunday are regular macro days for women and are active recovery days. For men, Friday is your third low carb day. It is it is an active recovery day, but it is a low carb day. And then Sunday is an additional strength day. So regular macro, but strength training workout. Men only have 1 active recovery day, women have 2. Remember, active recovery does not mean that you sit on your couch all day and watch TV, although I know most of you couldn't do that even if you wanted to with our busy lifestyles. However, it is a great day to get in those long distance runs, those long, slow bicycle rides, a walk with your family, a trip to the park. Those kinds of things are excellent for those days. A yoga class even. Great ways to incorporate some activity so that you're not doing nothing, but also giving your body a chance to rest. Remember from that Fast Away pyramid, if you did not watch that video, go back and watch that. Rest is vitally important to burning fat. You have to have rest in your lifestyle to be able to burn fat effectively. Now, we pair your eating cycle with effective exercise. As you can see, the low carb days are paired with HIIT workouts. That is intentional. Regular macro days are paired with strength training. However, I know, at least for my own sanity, that there are weeks that does not work well. There are weeks that you're traveling or have family in town or on vacation, and you need to change your schedule. Ideally, you would change the day of the week. So if it's a Monday low carb day, you would take that low carb day and your workout and move it to a different day. If you're living in a perfect world, you would be able to keep the low carb days, 2 of them, which is all we have for women, but 2 of them for men together, back to back for the best fat burning that we can provide in a week. So ideally we would have Monday, Tuesday, back to back. For men, I would not do 3 low carb days back to back. It is tough. It does not make you feel well for most people. So I would challenge you to break those up with a regular macro day in between so that you're not feeling poorly. You do not need to add extra exercise to your routine, but we want you going after these workouts with some effort, okay? So those strength training days, I don't want you just throwing weights around. I want you really using the weights that work for you. Make sure that you're challenged, because that's going to provide you the best results, and that's what we want ultimately. If you are sick one day or don't feel well or you're busy with life, I totally understand. What I want you to do is take the day off from exercise. If you do not feel well, it is ideal that you do not work out that day. I would rather you focus on hitting those nutrients or those macro goals as best as you can, but I would not push yourself into a workout. You are not going to gain anything from that workout. So you don't have to change your day the next day, jump back in the next day. And that's the beauty of this lifestyle, is that it is flexible and can be modified from week to week based on what you need and how you're feeling and what's going on in your life. That's what makes it a lifestyle instead of a crash diet, because we're not a crash diet. We want you to have sustainable results that you can take all of the things that we're learning and continue them into the future, the foreseeable future. I hope all of that makes good sense. Try as best as you can. One last thing with the cycle, try to have a rest day after your leg day for women. Studies have been shown that that works best for women. Now, men already have a strength training day scheduled for Sunday, and that's okay. Men recover a little bit quicker from their muscle, from workouts and muscle breakdown. So women need that rest day afterwards, if at all possible. Now, I understand there are going to be weeks where you need to change things around. That's okay. But ideally, we would have a rest day after that leg day. Now, this week or coming up shortly, depending on where you are in our program, you're going to have a 24-hour fast. That sounds intimidating to most people going into it. However, I promise you, you've already been fasting for 16 hours a day. If you are hitting your macro targets the day before, which should be a regular macro day, you are going to provide your body with enough fuel to get through that fast. That being said, if at any point during a 24-hour fast you start to feel lightheaded or poorly, it is not worth it to continue on feeling that way. I would rather you drink a glass of water first and see if that helps. Maybe you're just a little dehydrated. If it does not help, break your fast. Okay? You have permission to break your fast if you start not feeling well during a 24-hour fast. 24-hour fast, there is actually a tip video that will come out, so you don't necessarily have to remember all of this. So right before the 24-hour fast, there'll be a video that comes out that I have just giving you some reminders about a 24-hour fast to get you set up on the best start for it. And here are some of those tips, okay? So I want you to consume nothing but water, herbal teas. You may still have your coffee. If you take medicines for any type of thing that are prescribed by your doctor, I want you to take those. If you can transition those to an evening dose so that you've had some food, that may be ideal, but I understand that you might not be able to. Try as best as you can to limit that if possible, but let me know if you need some help with some of that. We remember that 50 calories or less does not break your fast, so you could have something very small with medicines in the morning. What the faster way will recommend is that usually our fasts are on Thursday. And people do move those around to different days based on their schedule. If you are doing, let's just, for example, say a Thursday 24-hour fast, that means that you would stop eating Wednesday, let's say at 7 p.m., you would go into your normal fast. The next morning you'll wake up, you'll stay very hydrated. You will consume nothing except for liquid. Hopefully, yes, you can still have your coffee. Stay as busy as possible during the day. If you're busy, you don't really focus on the 24-hour fast and it goes by a lot quicker. So that afternoon, you'll continue to stay well hydrated, and then at 7 p.m., you would have a small meal of all 3 macros to make sure it has some protein, some fat, and some carbs, making sure that you are getting a little bit of food in. You will be amazed at how full you feel right after a 24-hour fast. So I promise you do not want to try to get all your macros in right after you've completed it. You will not feel well. I have done that. It is not a good feeling. So a small meal is really all you need, and then you would go back into your fast, wake up Friday morning, break your fast at your normal time. I have found that I like doing it a little bit differently. Wednesday morning, I wake up, I break my fast at my normal time, so 11 to 12, depending on the morning. I always stop eating at 7, but sometimes my fast doesn't start. I don't break my fast until 12. Now, that being said, I will get most, if not all, of my macros in before 4:30 to 5 o'clock. That may sound a little ambitious to some of you. I promise you can do it. So that time period, you're eating pretty consistently. Now, obviously, you don't want to stuff yourself, but you're trying to get in all those macros, particularly the protein. And then at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I stop eating. I skip dinner that night when I'm full bore, ready to do this, and then go to bed, stay well hydrated, wake up, and I've already fasted for over 12, 13 hours by the time I get up, and I continue to stay well hydrated. I will have a cup of coffee. The next, 11 o'clock would be when I would break my fast, typically, keep on going, and then by 4:30, it rolls around so quickly because that's still a busy time of day. I break my fast at 4:30 or 5 with a small snack. Maybe it's a Perfect Bar or something of that nature. I then will have dinner with my family and stop eating at my typical 7 o'clock. So, and then fast until Friday morning. Remember that Friday is a regular macro day after a 24-hour fast, and it does have a workout involved. So there will be no workout on a 24-hour fast day. We want you focusing on digestive rest as well as rest for your body. We do not want you trying to work out and fast at the same time for 24 hours. That would be brutal. And then the next day, strength training workout, your regular macros. So usually people feel really well that next day. The benefits of a 24-hour fast are true digestive rest. It increases your immunity. It really helps accelerate fat loss. Now, obviously this is optional. You do not have to do a 24-hour fast, but I would challenge you to try it. It is eye-opening how easy it really is after you've gotten used to this 16-hour fast. So I want to see everyone doing that with a few exceptions. If you are breastfeeding, you do not do a 24-hour fast. If you have thyroid disease that is not well controlled, maybe you just got diagnosed or you've been changing your medicines up or down, either way, it is not the ideal time for you to do a 24-hour fast. So I would do a regular macro day, make it an active recovery day. All right, so that's a little bit about the 24-hour fast that's coming up soon. Non-scale victories are something we also want to talk about today. Please remember that we focus on progress and not perfection. I know I've said it in this video, I know you've heard it before, but I'm saying it one more time because it is truly that important. In the Faster Way, we celebrate non-scale victories because honestly, those are the victories that happen on a day-to-day basis. They're also the ones that make a difference in your lifestyle. Those are defined as something that helps you reach your health and wellness goals. Easy, simple as that. That don't have anything to do with a number on a scale. So maybe your clothes are fitting better. Maybe you need to go out and buy new jeans. Maybe you've just noticed that your skin is clearer, you are sleeping better, you're getting more deep sleep. You may be someone who tracks your blood pressure and you're starting to see that your blood pressure has gone down. And then you should see your doctor if you're on medicines, by the way. But yes, all of those things are going to happen at some point. We just really want you to make sure that you are focusing on your body, how you're feeling, and not focusing on the negative sides of, well, I didn't hit my macros yesterday. Yeah, but you did the last 3 weeks, and that's amazing. So I don't want you, it's a change in mindset because we live in a very negative world. Turn the news on. That's all I can say is turn the news on, and there's usually, it doesn't take long to hear something negative and takes a whole lot longer to hear something positive. So let's really focus on being positive, being uplifting and self-motivating in these things because it is hard. I have recently talked to someone who said, you know, I was so scared when I saw you that you would be disappointed in me. And I said, why? Tell me how things are going. And she told me that she hasn't drank any alcohol. She's cut out all dairy and gluten, but she hasn't figured out how to post every day because life gets busy. I said, those are amazing things. So those are the kinds of things that I want to hear on a weekly basis. Shout those from the rooftops because those are the things that really make a difference long term. Okay? So I know I sound like a broken record, but progress over perfection is really key. And I want to celebrate these wins with you. I want to hear how you're doing and how things are going. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, we are going to transition this into a lifestyle. It is not meant to be a crash diet where you, are here for 6 weeks and then back to normal pre-Faster Way lifestyle. This is meant to be sustainable. It is meant to incorporate those treats on Saturdays so that you don't feel deprived. It also gives you the flexibility of moving those days around when you need to. So I really want you to take the opportunity to solidify all of these things that we've learned over the last few weeks, really put them into practice, commit to the next few weeks. I will tell you, the people who see the biggest and most impressive results are the ones who show up every day in the group. They show up every day in the group, okay? It does not take long to, even if it's not your nutrient tab, like let's say you had a bad day and you weren't able to track, that's okay. Just write it down. Just write something down in the group that shows that you showed up. So they show up in the group, they stay off the scale, and they hit their macros most days. Okay, everyone's gonna have an off day, but most days you are hitting your macros and hitting them well with whole foods, not letting too many treats come in, which is easy to do, or not tracking certain things, also easy to do. Making sure that you're really keeping yourself accountable. And that's what the group's here for. That's what I'm here for, is to help keep you accountable. Now, I have heard from a few people that you are interested in the next round, but you're also wanting to bring some friends and family with you who have watched you change a couple things or do a few things. And I am so excited about your referrals. I do want to let you know about my referral program. It's called an affiliate program, and it is a free sign up. There is a link to sign up, but honestly, the biggest compliment that you can give me is referring someone to my Faster Way program. The reason for that, my business is completely word of mouth. So the more people that I can help and empower to take control of their nutrition, that is what my mission is. I want to help busy men, busy women, especially busy moms, get control of their health and wellness through this program. So I cannot thank you enough for those referrals. And because of that, I have an affiliate program that shares my commission with you. There's no tricks or anything to this. When you sign up, you're not a coach. You don't have to do anything else. You will get a separate link, and that only helps track so that I can pay you for your referrals. So my current payment for new referrals is $50 for each person, and I honestly cannot thank you enough for those referrals. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. I will post the link because I know a few of you have already asked me, how do I refer people to you? What link can I give my friends, my family? So I will post that for you so you can register and you can take advantage of that. Obviously, you can always give out the link that you use to register, or ask me, I'll give you the regular link. But either way, just a little benefit for my clients for sharing your story, because people are going to ask you what you're doing when you start looking amazing and feeling better and having more energy. It's infectious. So just take advantage of that, and I would encourage you to share your journey and share what you've been doing. All right, we have a few more weeks together, and I cannot wait to see you change your body composition, change your mindset, and I am so excited about the next few weeks. I know there's also a couple questions about what comes next. We will talk more about that. There are options for you going forward. This program is meant to empower you to take these concepts on, but as you know, and as I know, it takes more than 6 weeks to truly solidify a lifestyle. So I want you to think about what you need going forward. We can tailor and customize things as you need, but let's really focus on the next few weeks, staying strict with your macros, staying consistent, and keeping to whole foods, but also making sure that you are showing up. Show up in the group. Take advantage of this accountability so you're asking your questions and getting what you need, but also holding yourself accountable to make the biggest change you possibly can over the next few weeks. I hope you guys are having an excellent day, and I cannot wait to see you in the group.